What's up, One Piece fans? It's time for the latest episode of the next piece of live action One Piece, episode 6, The Chef and the Chore Boy. And I'm just going to straight up say it. This is the weakest. Unfortunately, I was okay with the changes about halfway through this season. And episode 5, you guys know I had a few more issues with it, and I think I gave it a 7. This one, ooh, the problems are getting a little more apparent. Thankfully, what steals this show is Zeph and Sanji. We get their backstory and stuff. Zeph's actor couldn't pick a better guy, right in line with the character. He's excellent. He's awesome. That was a highlight of the episode, 100%. And Sanji, great casting, great characterization there too. Arlong and the Fishmen have a pretty good look. So I know a lot of people complained about Arlong's look. I don't mind it as much, you know, like I think it's fine and stuff. I'm wondering where Hachi is. Like, you know, he's got the other ones. He's got Chu and what's his name with him. But where, you know? And I guess overall, I don't mind the fact that Arlong and Luffy have an initial sort of scuffle where Arlong comes out on top. Just to, you know, we have to make up for the big bad. We skipped the Don Creek fight, of course, because Mihawk just took care of business in the last episode and stuff like that. So having this little Russell tussle, Nami runs away instead of the Don Creek thing. We still needed the thing where Nami leaves and then they have to go get her, and you know. So I mean, those parts are all fine. Those parts are all fine. Most of my grievances come from two things, really. You could sort of argue they're three, but they're two. We'll get to the bigger one later. I don't know. They're sort of equal. Luffy's character, now that Zoro's hurt, if this is meant to humanize Luffy, if this is meant to, I don't know, show us a different side of him, the worrying side, the problem with that is it fundamentally goes against something in his character, something that, once again, I said fundamentally already, but it's fundamental to his character, that we never see Luffy worry. We never see Luffy sweat. It's a big part of the draw of his character as a whole. It's why he's beloved as being slightly different than other shonen MCs. And not until much later on in the story do we ever actually see him get worried at all. He gets angry, sure, he gets emotional, but not like this. Being the worrywart, not knowing what to do, not being confident that everything's going to turn out all right. That, you know, that very naive but honest person that he is. That really took me out of the moment. And I don't think it's the fault of the actor. I'm very bad with the actor names. That's why I just keep saying the one portraying. Does a great job of showing that if that's the directional choice. I'm arguing that the directional choice was very wrong. Very wrong for Luffy's character. Him worrying over Zoro, not knowing what to do, not knowing when it... You could have ended it. I'm fine with the one line where he could have said, "I'm not hungry, Nami." Perfect. Fine dandy. That shows that that's enough. That one line, then he goes off and he still acts like Luffy. And then you could have had the characters wondering, does Luffy even realize? Does Luffy even care? And then you see Nami going, he might die and stuff, and Luffy can be like, he's Zoro. He's going to be alright, because how is he going to become the world's greatest swordsman? Like, Luffy should be much more confident, and every time it's brought up, it should be, well, how is he going to become the world's greatest swordsman if he dies? How is he going to help me find the One Piece if he dies? Zoro will be fine. And be confident the entire time. These emotional, we're trying to get like this investment, this emotional moments. It does not work. I don't think it works. I think it was a flop. They tried to do something to humanize Luffy a little bit so he seemed less callous, less of a monkey, you know, pun intended. You know, the starry-eyed child with a dream of grandeur that doesn't actually hold the responsibility or the consequences, which is something he's supposed to learn later on. This is a good part of his character, but it becomes a flaw later that we acknowledge later for a much bigger payoff. Doing it here now is going to lessen the impact when we've never seen Luffy be unsure before. Yeah, we have, like 3 times in this. So it's going to take away the tension and a lot of things in future seasons. I'm happy that we're getting a season 2, apparently. Apparently that's been confirmed. But they hammered on. We had like 3 or 4 scenes with Luffy worrying over Zoro, and it just didn't sway me at all. That was a poor decision. It was a poor directional choice for his character arc, and if they go forward, they're going to change a lot more, because switching up Arlong to coming to the Baratier instead of Don Krieg and stuff like that, that sort of worked and stuff. Also sort of combining 2 arcs in one, hurrying it up. Buggy being the one in the end to be more involved, I guess that's fine, because we're not really seeing the adventures of Buggy right now, and I guess we're just going to cut Alvida out altogether. I don't know if they're doing that on the pure sense of we don't want to showcase Alvida as a fat lady, and then all of a sudden she's drop dead gorgeous, and I just don't think they want to step their toe in that water. Maybe Netflix is like, yeah, no, that was funny back then. We can't do that today. We can't. You can't shame shaming in this day and age. So nothing's allowed to be funny. So no, we can't do that. So I think that's why they've sort of included Buggy here, as you know, he's working with Arlong and stuff for a while. Now he's still the, you know, he's just the head, and we get to see more of Buggy, who's fun, who's well cast and stuff. So yeah, no, that hit me in the wrong way, and I was waiting for the episode to end, like, please stop going back to this trough. The trough is dry. It's empty. You ain't getting water out of me from this. So, yeah, no, I didn't like that portion of the episode for sure, and that was a big bulk of it, really, just Luffy worrying, which was too much out of character. And then another, same issue, Garp. I already said it last episode, Garp being intimidating and stuff, I thought it was going to just be a long-running gag, and all of a sudden, he was going to be like, "Bwah!" to Kobe. Like, you should have seen your face, cadet. You know, that kind of idea. I'm waiting for the fun-loving Garp. Once again, both of the Monkey D family here are acting too far out of character. The grandson's acting out of character, and so is the grandfather. The grandfather should not be worrying shit right now. Should not care. It's like, oh, Luffy's a pirate. God damn it. Like, even if they want to go on that line that he is worrying and stuff, the fact that he doesn't listen to Kobe's advice. We have this moving speech by Kobe, and he doesn't listen after he tells him the history after the Mihawk meeting. We'll get to the Mihawk meeting. And then he jumps in there and says, "No more quarter, no more half measures. We're going to catch Straw Hat Luffy, and we'll bring him to justice." Like, he's obsessed with his grandson. This is not Garp. This is a problem. Garp's supposed to be like, yeah, well, like, how is this going to look? Later on, when we get introduced to Sengoku, when we get introduced to other characters and stuff, and maybe they're cooking for something here, but Garp with a constant serious frown on his face and obsessing over Luffy not being a pirate is not hitting for me either. It was obviously a different choice, but it's sort of not working in their favor, because now Garp, the reason people love Garp is his nonchalantness, is his whole, oh, I shouldn't have told you that. He's a Hagrid. He's a Rubius Hagrid type of character, right? He's like, oh yeah, play a bit of music. Oh, I should not have told you that, Harry. Oh shit. Wait, damn. You know, well, what can you do? Well, maybe I'll go to Professor Dumbledore. Nah, I got beer to drink and some monster to tame. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, that's Garp. Garp's supposed to be like, oh yeah, Luffy just did this, and this. Oh, is that right? Hey, we got any more chips? I'm out of snacks right now. Are you listening to me? Straw Hat Luffy, we need to go after him. Cadet. Alright, we can steer the ship in that direction. But you gotta relax more, boy. Like, that's the problem. Garp is wound up tighter than you know what. He is wound so goddamn tight. You know, it's not the Garp the reason we love Garp. And that's not a good thing. So the actor's doing a fine job of that, but they're taking away 50% of his personality. It's not working for me. He's acting like Akainu with a grudge. Akainu with a grudge. And that is totally not Garp. He's got absolute... Right now, Garp is working with absolute justice, and Garp is not, in any way, shape, or form, a member of absolute justice. 100%. So this is going against Garp the character. It's going against the theme. It's going against a lot of things. And then the whole Mihawk thing, where Garp is actually... He's like, well, as to, what do you mean you didn't bring him in? Well, you know, you do work for the world government, so, you know, I would do what I like, whatever, and someone like you, like, no, Mihawk, you should be intimidated by this man. Like, this should not be a... It's making Mihawk look good that he doesn't give a fuck about orders, sure, but there should be a mutual level of respect, because we've seen Mihawk in the series, and in this show, he has respect. He gives respect when it's due. Garp the hero, the Fist, is far more worthy than other characters Mihawk gives respect to. So, I'm just saying, like the disrespect to Garp, and Garp being on the back pedal when Mihawk's holding like the full house and just being like, read him and weep, Garp, I'm peace and see you later, and then Garp throws a hissy fit in his office. It's... No, that was the most egregious thing. So in all honesty, I'm gonna give this episode... a 4. Yeah, I gotta give it a 4. Because they're taking away our main character and one of my top 5 favorite characters, and they're really trashing on them. And I'm not here for it. I know they have to make changes. They have to make a lot, and they've made a lot of changes. And I've been fine with it for better or worse. And I haven't taken off much points. But there's no reason to butcher the characters. There's no reason to completely 180 and alter their personalities. It's not a good look. It's not working for me. And once again, my scale, just so we're clear, my scale is 5 is average. I never got this idea that people do a 1 to 10 scale where 5 is trash. I don't get that. Then what does 1 to 5 mean? Bigger trash, badder trash, maximum over trash. You know, like, no. 5 is average. On a real scale, 5 is middle of the road, middle of the pack. It's the average. So in a 1 to 10. So I gave high praise to the first few episodes because they were. And this, I cannot honestly say that it's average. It's below average for me. It really took me out of the moment, and I went, yeah, no, if people don't like live action One Piece, I sort of get it. Is this the episode? Because no Hachi, Garp completely out of character, Luffy out of character, and just the way the stuff went down, and just harping on these moments, it's like, no. And everything else in between, the best saving grace was Sanji Zeph. But once again, I've seen the backstory, and the backstory took longer in the live action than it did in the manga, or that it did in the anime, I feel. So I'm sort of sitting back going, alright, it's fine, but I know where this is going. Can we get back to the story sort of idea? So yeah, nothing was moving me specifically in this episode. The only thing that really moved me in this episode was, I mean, Mihawk being badass in the presence of Garp was hard to enjoy because it was dissing on Garp, and Garp was looking like the weaker of the two. That bothered me. And no, I don't mean that in a power scaling way. I mean, Garp should not be taking shit from Mihawk. He takes shit from nobody in the entire series. Why the fuck is he taking shit from Mihawk is beyond me. And yeah, the best, that and, well, Zeph and Sanji's talk as Sanji boards the Going Merry, and they're taking off. That was nice. Thank you for putting up with my shit for all these years, old man, and stuff like that. It's like, you keep your feet dry, boy. You know, that kind of idea. I like that. That was a good exchange. Both actors did a phenomenal job. Zeph, I'm sorry that we're not going to get more Zeph. I love Zeph in this show. He's a lot of fun. So yeah, there are good highlights. I want to end off on a good note. Zeph was 10 out of 10 for me. But yeah, I got to give this a 4. This is a below average episode. There was too much that took me out of it, and not because I'm trying to be a One Piece purist here. Changing stuff is fine. The Arlong being at the Baratie, killing off Don Krieg early, these things are fine. Changing characters without probable cause is not fine. So, anyways, that's it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, even if I didn't. I haven't watched episode 7 yet, but I'm a little skeptical now going into episode 7 and 8. I'm a little skeptical, so we'll have to wait and see. Thankfully, still not spoiled yet on anything live action. Trying to stay away from that, but like, comment, and subscribe as always, and we'll see you guys back here next time for the next piece of live action One Piece episode 7. We'll see if it's any better. Hopefully, this is as worse as it gets, and hopefully 7 and 8 sort of clean up the act, and I can give an overall rating for the first season of One Piece, because overall, I'd still say it's been a good experience. So, anyways, that's it from me. For now, episode 7 coming your way soon. Bye-bye.